Okay, we should be live. So, this is kind of my first official live stream. I've tried this before and I was shut down. So, hopefully we won't get shut down today. Basically, I'm going to be covering the iPhone 17 announcement. I'm going to do a live reaction to this. So, how that's going to work is I'm going to watch it on apple.com and I'm going to listen to it in my AirPods Pros, and you can watch there on apple.com, or you can just listen to my reaction, however you want to do it. But due to copyright, I cannot show the Apple feed and I can't play the Apple audio. So if you want to hear or see it, you can follow along with them and with me side by side, or you could just watch me and I'm going to cover it on I'm just going to watch some of these live blogs and I'm just going to talk about what's released. So either way works for me. But this should be an exciting event. I'm going to cover this from a creative perspective. So my focus is less about the RAM or the new chip or promotion and a little bit more on the cameras and what other creative features, if you're an artist, you're a musician, you're a photographer, that type of stuff, and just kind of checking out what they're going to release and maybe what can help me in my workflow and what might help you realistically. So there's a lot of rumors out here already. Of course, the closer you get to the Apple event, the more and more rumors. There's this guy, one of these guys, this guy, Rajay. I've never seen this guy before, but he said iPhone 17 Pro Max might be the biggest upgrade of our lifetime. Anti-reflective display, thicker body, 500 milliamp body chip, 12 gigabytes of RAM, blah 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 blah. With these rumors, a lot of the physical stuff, like this is probably exactly what it's going to look like today in the exact color. Like that stuff is usually pretty accurate. A lot of the rumors aren't as accurate, and then everybody just forgets about them, and it's like it never happened. So we're going to see how much of this actually is accurate. Some of the ones I'm excited about, though, and some of the reasons why I might actually buy this phone, I'm still on the fence. We're going to see what happens today. But the camera system is sort of the main attractant to me. So this iPhone, the Pros, are supposedly going to have 3 cameras on the back, and they're all going to be 48 megapixel now. So that's a big upgrade because I use my ultra wide a lot. I'm using it right now. That's how I'm streaming this on my ultra wide lens on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And I love the ultra wide, and I would love it if it was a little bit higher quality. So if that was 48 megapixel and it had a little bit better sensor, that would be cool. The other major rumor that I would be excited about, again, just a rumor, is, and he doesn't seem to mention it in his list, 8 times optical zoom. So supposedly, from my understanding here, right now, on my phone, your phone's probably similar. Like you have like a 1x button, a 3x button, a 5x button, and those are switching the lenses to the actual cameras. And if you pinch and zoom, you're using a digital zoom and it looks like crap. So it's like pointless to even use that sometimes. But supposedly this would be an 8 times optical zoom, so you'd be able to zoom in, pinch and zoom all the way to 8 times and get that full quality still. That would be crazy. I think that would be a reason for me to upgrade, along with the better ultra wide camera for sure. Some of the other things here, again, kind of camera based, is this dual video recording. 8K video recording, who cares? That to me is on like ProRes level. Like, I'm sorry, but nobody's shooting a movie on their iPhone. It's cool. I mean, I know the Apple event is shot on iPhone, but like, it's just the hassle of having to connect your iPhone to an SSD and like all this stuff. Like, sure, it can, and it's cool that it can, but if we're gonna be realistic, I'm not shooting 8K video on my freaking phone and filling up my iCloud storage with 8K video. So that I don't really care about, but this dual video recording is very interesting to me. So supposedly what that is you'll be able to record on the back cameras and the selfie cameras at the same time. And apparently there's apps you can do that with already. I think Snapchat's one of them. But I think really I had this thought before that the iPhone should be able to do this. And actually at one point I was really researching like how to do this because it seems so obvious. This would be an easy way to copy, or I don't know, be a competitor to the Insta360, which I actually have one. I've got this sucker right here. So this is a 360 camera. It's got lenses on both sides of it, and you take 360 video and photo, and also like property tours for real estate, things like that. And it makes so much sense because the iPhone already has a LiDAR on the back of it for you to be able to put it on a monopod like this, tripod, and use it for 360 property tours like a real estate agent might, or any sort of like commercial work or things like that, Google Street View even. There's a lot of use cases for 360 stuff, but it's kind of hard to get into. There's not a lot of good softwares out there, and it's also kind of expensive to buy this stuff. So if it was all on your iPhone, which already has a LiDAR so it can do measurements, I think that would be huge. And there's that app called like Polygram or something like that that lets you use the LiDAR to scan and create a 3D model of your room. But again, it's like if you had all the capabilities of a Insta360 just on your phone, I think I would use my phone all the time, and I would get rid of this Insta360 because it would be so much easier to use my phone. So I think that would be huge, and there's really no reason why that's not a thing. The rumor that I saw is the reason why it's not a thing is because they need a better chip. So now that they're having a better chip, they can do that. I think it probably just wasn't a priority. But then the Apple Vision Pro came out, which of course is 360 immersion. So I think that they're more leaning into this thing where Apple does this thing where they release features for other products as a way to beta. Like if you remember, like they released this head movement with the AirPods, and that's totally just something that, in my opinion, they were doing to convert that tech to the Vision Pro. I think it's the same thing here, where it's so obvious now that they need to get into 360 stuff, and they have all the hardware necessary on this phone to do it. So I would be very excited about that. Rant over about 360. Let me make sure I'm still live over here. Oh, we've got 2 viewers. It says that our 4K isn't good. I don't know. If things are bad, you're just gonna have to tell me, because like I said, I've never really live streamed before. Anyway, so back to what we're getting today. So we're supposed to be getting these iPhone 17 Air. That's the thinnest iPhone. We're gonna get a regular iPhone. We're gonna get the Pro iPhones. The watches might come out. We might get a new Apple Watch. We might not get a new AirPods Pro 3. I don't know how much I care about that. One thing I do care about with the AirPods, again, this is all from a creative perspective, and that's why I'm like, AirPods Pro 3, like, what am I going to get out of that? One of the rumors is like a heart rate monitor, and that's like the sort of thing where like, that's cool and that's exciting, but for this stream, I'm focused more on like what's going to help me with my workflows. And one of the things with the AirPods that is cool and going to help, and is not a rumor and it's real, is they're releasing this studio quality mic feature. And it takes your AirPods and it takes the audio out of them, and I think it uses AI processing, but some sort of processing to enhance that quality. And that's coming out in the new iPhone 26 update. So this isn't a rumor, this is legit. And it sounds awesome. You can look it up on YouTube. I haven't gotten mine yet, but I'm so excited because the possibilities for that will mean that you can go and record on your iPhone, and instead of having to have a DJI mic mini on your shirt or something else and like syncing that audio, you can just record with your AirPods in, and you're gonna have this studio quality as if it was a DJI mic mini. And from all the tests that I saw, it actually sounds that good. And I believe it because I use Adobe Podcast Enhancer all the time, which is a online web app that Adobe released that you can just throw any audio into and it will spit out really great studio quality mics. So that's one thing that's coming to AirPods that I'm excited about from a creator perspective, is those studio quality mic. That's just a software. And that's something that, again, I'm hoping more to see from this announcement is more software stuff, more features. Obviously, we have a lot of these rumors leaked about the camera setup and this and that, but let me check that message. I don't want anybody to be messaging me and be like, your stream's like dead. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think I'm focused a little bit more on the softwares here, because that's the stuff that isn't leaked, like the actual software tech. Because the hardware, it gets leaked, but the features that they announced today, I think that would be exciting. I don't know how many features we're going to get, but whatever it is, I think it will be a surprise, and that's part of the excitement today. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see where we are at. It's 12:54. Let's see where Marquez is. I'm just gonna kind of, for those of you joining, we're about to hit the Apple announcement live. This is gonna be a watch along, so if you haven't kind of done this thing before, you go on Apple, watch me side by side. I'm gonna do a live reaction. I can't share Apple's photo, video, audio feed on my stream because they'll take me down in an instant, but I can kind of react to it, and I can show you some of these live blogs and things like that. So if you want to stick around to my reaction, I'm going to be talking about from a creative perspective, those things I'm interested in. I'm just going to kind of react to what they announced here and give you my thoughts on it. Let's see where Marquez is. He says this is the best seat in the house. Dang, he's right underneath the sound system. That's kind of cool. This is a small theater. So Marquez has found his seat, shot on Pixel 10 Pro. He does that every time. Let's see what Mark Gurman says over here. This is kind of our rumor guy. He always posts about rumors. He looks like he's finding his seat. Here's the 9 to 5 live vlog. What to expect today? We're getting the iPhone 17, Apple Watch Ultra 3, AirPods Pro 3, iPhone Air. We got our Craig over there. I love Craig. Looks good so far. Looks like we're about to start over here. Tim Cook posted this morning, days like today are some of the most exciting moments at Apple. I wonder how much of this was real and how much of this is Apple. Looks like those are some doves or something. Maybe all of this is Apple and intelligence. I don't know. Like this tweet for special animation. Let's take a look. Okay, I got tricked. Like button is actually working. Oh my god, dang it. I'm not liking everybody's tweets for free out here. Anyways, this thing's about to kick off. Like I said, the most important things that I'm excited about today is going to be the camera system. It's going to be whatever features they release, and features for creatives like me and probably like you, artists, photographers, musicians, things like that. I think this camera system is going to be great. The 8x optical zoom is going to be really cool. Dual video recording should be really cool. Of course, they're going to have different colors. It's going to look a little bit different. But to me, that's not like, I don't get crazy over like the iPhones changing their look anymore. I think they've pretty much looked at the same. I think we may have hit peak Apple iPhone device. Really just peak smartphone device. I don't know if it's even going to really change. My wild card prediction here is I think we've hit peak smartphone, and we're going to stay like that until we move on to another device and smartphones are replaced by Google Glass or some sort of AR thing or Neuralink in your brain. I don't know if we're going to see iPhones really changing too much. I think we've hit the peak there. So apparently we got different colors, an orange color here. If I got one, I would totally spray paint mine. So subscribe. If I get one, I'm gonna spray paint my phone for sure, which might mess up with the rumors. These poor people, they always put the iPhones on sale. iPhone 16 Pro is $470 off. Can you imagine buying an iPhone 16 Pro Max today? That would be rough. Unless you want it on sale, then that would be good. But that's happened to me before. I bought the Mavic Air 2, the drone, and it was like the freaking week after they released like the Mavic Air 2S. Like they released the better version and buy a lot, and now I own both. I eventually, after years, upgraded to that 2S, and I just kept my first one. iPhone Air. I like the Air lineup now. The Air lineup is really good. This is a MacBook Air. I used to have a MacBook Pro. It was all decked out, but it was the Intel Mac. I downgraded to this Air, and it's got the M chip. Changed my life. The Airs are so nice. They're so thin. They're so portable. I take this laptop and I just throw it in my freaking Jeep, and I just like stick it in between the seat cushions, and that's how I get around with it. It's so nice having an Air. So I would have totally bought the iPhone Air 17 today, except for the fact that it's only going to have one camera, according to the rumors, and that's not going to fly by me. But for other people, I think that'd be a great phone. I think someone like my dad should probably get an iPhone 17 Air. He doesn't even take pictures, so I think it's going to be good, depending on the price tag. I think I saw somewhere the price was about $900 or something. Which to me, if you're at this point, if you're buying an iPhone, it's like I don't even blink at 900 versus 1200. Like at the end of the day, you're spending a freaking $1,000 on this phone. So just get the one you like. But I think the Air is replacing the Mini. Oh, I think our event's starting. Let's check this thing out. Oh yeah, they got so this orange whoops. This is just a picture. This orange and blue kind of background that they've made up. This is, a lot of people are saying the orange is, of course, the orange and the blue are like the colors for the Pro model iPhones. And then this weird like heat wave thing they are going on, like that effect. People are rumoring that that is because of this vapor chamber. So they supposedly have a new way to cool down the iPhone with weird like vapor water. I don't know. We're gonna find out today, but I think that's why it's got this thermal looking effect. Looks like it's kicking off. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. Steve Jobs. I'm liking that they started this thing off with a quote from Steve Jobs in design. Dang, okay, so it's a HomePod. They're kicking this thing off with a HomePod. HomePod, iPhone, MagSafe charging. Looking for the Apple TV remote. There's flashing visuals on the screen. AirTag on your luggage. I wonder if these are all predictions for what we're going to see today. I did not expect us to be seeing a HomePod today. There's your Apple Watch. So far we got HomePods, iPhones obviously, Apple TV, AirTags, Apple Watch. That was a Mac Mini. Obviously we're not going to get that today, but I'm wondering if any of these are, like if we get a HomePod today, that would be crazy. I was not expecting that. I don't think anybody was. It's showing an iPad with an Apple Pencil. Now we're just getting into the Apple ecosystem. Let's see what people have to say about this 9 to 5 Mac. Oh, Twitter's down. Twitter's down. It always is. Here it goes. It's fine. 5 minutes. Okay, 9 to 5 Mac's watching it. They're putting a big emphasis on design. They just flashed the word design again, which is very interesting because I didn't think any of the rumors here were really screaming design to me today. Awesome looking drone shot. And there's our buddy Tim Cook. He's walking out. Good morning. Welcome to Apple Park. I'd love to go to Apple Park and just see what it looks like there. I don't think civilians are allowed. Civilians like myself. AirPods. Apple Watch, iPhone. That's what we're getting today. AirPods, Apple Watch, iPhone. And liquid glass. Have you upgraded liquid glass? I am on the liquid glass beta. I can't. I use my wife's phone sometimes, and I'm like, whoa, this thing is a blast from the past. I've gotten very used to liquid glass, but it is hard to read stuff, for sure. That's not a joke, but it looks way cooler. We're talking about the architecture of their stores now. He says design is core of everything we do. That's what I'm talking about. This is design channel. He says we're taking the biggest leap ever for iPhone, but we're starting with AirPods. I'm hoping we see something good out of AirPods. I really like the studio quality mic feature that's coming, but I want to see something more. Like, why do I need to upgrade, Tim Cook? I can't imagine buying a base AirPods. I think you have to get the Pros. Okay, here we go. Next generation of AirPods Pro. Okay, got a cool looking video. Oh, they're dancing. They're listening to music and they are dancing. These videos crack me up. Let's see what we got on Twitter here. Do you guys call it Twitter or X? I don't know if I'll ever. I want to call it X, I'm sorry, but I don't think I'll ever get to that point. So we got the AirPods Pro 3. Kate is going to tell us more about them. What do you got, Kate? These drone shots are incredible. These drone shots make me want to start shooting in log. Okay, Kate Bergeson. Burger Ron. Sorry, Kate. VP of Engineering, I think it said. AirPods Pro 3 are coming out. It's custom architecture. So far, they look exactly the same, which I'm not complaining about. Again, I think with the iPhone, same thing. I think they've reached the peak product design for AirPods. Active noise cancellation. I think we already got that. Okay, so it's basically saying better noise cancellation. Twice as good as noise cancellation. That would actually be pretty crazy because these are the Pro 2s and they have pretty good noise cancellation. It gets to the point where it's like dangerous. Like you can't hear a fire truck coming. I do sometimes drive with noise cancellation on. I know I shouldn't. She's still going on about the noise cancellation. World's best active noise cancellation. It must be good. She's really harping on it. Oh, okay. Live translation. That's sick. What? When you're together with someone who speaks a different language, AirPods will help you understand them in your language. Wow. Holy crap. So they're saying the noise cancellation is going to lower the volume of the person who's speaking the other language, and it's going to live translate their language to English or whatever your language is instantly. That's pretty crazy. I saw some rumors about Apple, not rumors, but some kind of behind the scenes of Apple's live captioning, and I was kind of like, it's like an AI thing that they're doing, and I was like, I'm not sure what the advantage there is. Now I see why. This is probably tied to that. This is crazy. I mean, they're pitching this like you are at a coffee shop, you're sitting down with somebody and you guys speak totally different languages, but you both have AirPods on and you're just going back and forth. That is wild. I wonder how well it actually works. Hate to be so cynical. Usually what I found is that Apple releases stuff that doesn't work that good at first, and then after a million people use it and 6 months later it works really good. Stuff like screen share comes to mind as an example of that. They 3D scanned people's ears. She just said they 3D scanned ears to make these things. They're supposed to be a little bit smaller and secure better in your ear. They look essentially exactly the same, but they've got five sizes of ear tips. Apparently the best fitting AirPods ever. Upgrade sweat and water resistance. Yeah, so twice as good noise cancellation, better tips made out of like foam and stuff on the inside, live translation, and then better fit in your ear, better water resistance. Not bad, not bad. Here's Jules Arney, Senior Director of Fitness Technologies. She's going to tell us about the AirPods in fitness. Creative Pie said hi. Hi, Creative Pie. I've never it says Creative Pie's a top fan. Never live streamed before. Thank you, Creative Pie, for saying hi. We're waiting for Jules to tell us what's new about fitness here. They did 250,000 participants for a heart monitoring. It sounds like we're getting the heart rate sensor was confirmed for the AirPods Pro 3. I didn't actually think that was going to happen. People have been rumoring the temperature and the heart rate monitoring in the AirPods forever. Sounds like we actually got it now, which is pretty dope. I mean, I wear my AirPods when I go for runs. Wow, so you really don't need an Apple Watch for tracking heart rate at that point then. If you're just going for walks and runs and you want to just use your phone to track the fitness, you can do that. Interesting. That's the new fitness in AirPods. That's pretty much it. You're getting the heart rate sensor in the AirPods Pro 3s. Longer battery life. 6 hours. It used to be 6 hours. Now it's 8 hours on a single charge. Up 2 hours. I've never had an issue with battery life on AirPods. Wow, 10 hours in transparency mode, 8 hours in noise cancellation. So you get live translation, heart rate sensor, 10 hours of battery, better sound quality, better fitness, better fitting. And that's it for AirPods Pro 3. Price tag $249. Available September 19th. Price tag $250. Not that bad. AirPod Pros last you forever. I would still have my ones, but I broke them. But that was not Apple's fault. I smashed those things on accident. Okay, next up is Apple Watch. You're keeping us on the hook for the iPhone. We just want to hear about the iPhone. Tim Cook. Marquez says AirPod Pro 3 gets heart rate sensor. Probably doesn't mean much to Apple Watch users, but this matches what we saw to Beats. Okay, they're playing a little video now about letters written to Tim about how Apple Watch have saved people's lives. Oh God, don't make me cry, Tim Cook. Oh my God, they have the saddest music playing right now. This is worse than one of those dog commercials. Oh God, there's a dog. There is a dog in this commercial. Tim Cook, no, don't do it. Where do I donate? Let's see what Sam Sheffer said here. He's kind of funny. I don't know if he's going to post stuff. If you don't own AirPods Pro, definitely get the Pro 3. $249. I would totally agree with that. Yeah, if you don't own AirPods Pro, you are missing out. That is like the one Apple product that like you can't live without. If my AirPods broke tomorrow, I would go to the Apple Store and buy a new. I would go into debt to buy these AirPods. They literally are a life changer. Walking around, you can do everything. It makes your whole life so hands-free because you just leave in transparency mode. You can hear the outside world. And they can just be in your ears while you're doing stuff all day long. Answer a call, listen to music. They're instant. You just pop them in. It instantly connects to your phone. You can answer a call and keep doing what you're doing. I think they're a life changer. I don't need them at all. My AirPods Pro 2 work perfectly. But guess what? I want AirPods 3. I disagree with that. I have the Pros 2. I don't think the heart rate sensor is going to make me get the 3. That's basically the biggest thing here. Of course, they have the better noise cancellation, but I don't even know if I want better noise cancellation personally. I'm pretty happy with my Pro 2s, but if you don't have AirPods, the $250 for the 3s, that sounds like a steal of a deal. Let's see what Mark Gurman said. Gark Merman. Okay, he's not posting. Let's see what we got on Bloomberg. Jesus, can you not? Oh, you gotta like subscribe to this? Okay, sorry guys, we're gonna stick with 9 to 5 Mac. I like them better anyways. So Tim Cook's still going on about saving people's lives with Apple Watch. I predict that one of the reasons why we're doing this is because there's a rumor going around that the Apple Watch is going to get satellite to text for emergencies. This might be a lead up to that, but in general, they do like flexing that saves people's lives, which is good. It had my back, had my front, had my sides. Okay, we're getting into Apple Watch now. Never been this hype for an Apple event. All right, let's see it, Tim Cook. Stan. Okay, Tim Cook's, he's telling us Stan's going to tell us what's new with the Apple Watch. We're taking our drone and we're flying over to Stan. Yeah, live translation does look pretty incredible. Project Mac. I love the name. Thinnest, most comfortable, even more durable. Ceramic shield? Is that what they're saying on Apple Watch? It's 2 times more scratch resistant than Series 10. Okay. Series 11 has 5G. Can I be a mod? Yes, you can be a mod, Project Mac. Anybody who asks can be a mod. Here you go. A managing mod or a standard mod? I'm gonna make you a manager, Project Mac. We got 49 viewers. So, yeah, you go ahead and ban whoever you need. Okay, let's see what we missed over here. Sounds like nothing yet. Okay, heart rate, cycle tracking, state of mind tracking, low cardio fitness. Now we're getting to new features in heart health and sleep. Oh, they're taking a drone shot to take us to the next guy. Okay, this Dr. Sumbul is going to tell us about the heart health on the Apple Watch. So far, we haven't heard much about what we're actually getting with this thing. Okay, high blood pressure in the Apple Watch confirmed. I think my blood pressure just went up when they announced that. Possible hypertension. So basically, you're wearing your Apple Watch, you got high blood pressure, it's going to tell you you need to chill out. It's going to identify possible hypertension over periods of 30 days. And they had 100,000 participants in these studies. That's a big thing they've been saying this entire time. Is that they've been doing a lot of studies. How do I sign up to be a participant for Apple so they can 3D scan my ears? If you're just tuning in, they 3D scan people's ears for the new AirPods. I don't know how you sign up for that. I wonder how much they got paid to get their ears scanned. So we've got the new sleep score feature in the Apple Watch Series 11 that analyzes the quality of your sleep every night. Lots of apps that do that already, but I guess we got that native now. We got a high blood pressure detection based on 30 days of data from the heart rate sensor. We got new heart health and sleep features. New Flow Apple Watch face. Okay, 5G connectivity and 2 times more scratch resistant. They didn't say ceramic shield, but they said a ceramic coating that meets at the atomic level, which kind of sounds like ceramic shield to me. But if you don't have an Apple Watch, you're probably not going to crack this thing. So I'm just holding out, guys. I'm holding out for this camera. That's all I want. As a creative, I'm hoping that we get some actual things that are going to help out my life. This is a lot of fitness stuff so far, but I don't know if I need high blood pressure. Maybe I do, but I'm looking forward to new camera system. Supposedly we're getting 48 megapixels on all 3 cameras on the iPhone Pro models. We're going to get dual video recording. We're going to get 8K video recording. Stuff like that is sort of what I'm looking forward to. 8 times optical zoom, main the camera, and then I'm hoping that they surprise us with some sort of surprise features. Like, I don't know, photo, video, if you're an artist, musician, photographer, like features that are going to help out with that. I don't know how much software stuff we're actually going to see in this event. Probably very minimal, but you never know. AirPods Pro are coming out with studio quality mics. I'm super excited about that. That is announced in the new update. Now they are talking about the new bands with reflective yarn. So it looks like Apple Watch Series 11 is going to come in jet black, silver, rose gold, and new space gray aluminum colors, titanium and natural gold, and slate, and new the watch bands. Got up to 24 hours of battery life. I think mainly the big walkaway here is the high blood pressure thing, and then for the AirPods, it's the heart rate monitor, which both of those things were leaked in the rumors. A lot of the things they just flashed up on the bento card was like stuff that we already have. They just reused. Let me see if, like this bento, like this is, even for this one, like extraordinary sound quality. They didn't say the sound quality got better at all. We got the Apple Watch SE 3 now. They just released Apple Watch SE 3. That was rumored. Always on display to the Apple Watch SE. Zero chance Apple calls it a vapor chamber. They'll probably say liquid smart cooler. Yeah, probably. They have to use the word liquid, right? Liquid glass. Marquez says Apple Watch Series 11 gets slightly thinner, gains 5G, hypertension detection, and will give sleep scores now. For me, that's not a reason to upgrade. But I guess if I had blood pressure problems, then it would be. So it depends on what you got. But I feel like that's really like the only thing that we got going on. They also didn't mention anything about the satellite, emergency satellite with Apple Watch. But maybe that's more of an update thing, software side. "18-hour battery life on the SE. And SE supports fast charging. Here's the bento cart for the Apple Watch 11. This is what I'm saying, like vitals, ECG, irregular rhythm notifications, like they are literally reusing some of these bento cards, which is kind of funny. Live translation on the Apple Watch is cool. Okay, they just wrapped up with the SE. An all-new Apple Watch Ultra. They're hitting it hard with the Apple Watches. We're taking the drone shot through the tree. Oh my god, watch out. Now it looks like we're in like Arizona or something. Yejun Kim is the VP of Hardware Engineering, and he's telling us about the Apple Watch Ultra. Let me flash up. Let's see if Sam Sheffer's got our bento card. Here's the Apple Watch SE bento card. It's got gestures, on-device Siri. Like that made the bento card. On-device Siri. 4 times more crack-resistant glass. For me, it's like, do you really need an Apple Watch Series 10 at this point? For me, it's kind of about the bezels. The bezels on the SE are still thick. But I don't know if you need the Series 11. I think that it's like you either get an SE or you get an Ultra, because what's the difference in between? So we got a new Apple Watch face called Waypoint. It actually looks kind of cool. It's like a moving compass. Apple Watch delivers personalized feedback to motivate you during your workout. That sounds kind of cool. Like customized for your runs. That sounds cool. Oh, here's the satellite. So it's only on Ultra. You get satellite connectivity on the Apple Watch Ultra. It's available in natural and black titanium, up to 42 hours of battery life. Holy crap, that's a lot of battery. 5G connectivity as well as satellite, and the largest display in an Apple Watch ever, made possible by smaller bezels. It's got double the signal strength with a new radio and antenna. Yeah, emergency satellite is included. So if you get lost wearing your Ultra 3 on the Himalayas, people can find you and you can text. See what Marquez is saying. I love that guy. Apple Watch Ultra 3 gets a slightly larger display, faster refresh, and satellite connectivity. Also a larger battery life. Here's the thing. Everything we've seen so far, it's an upgrade. I'm not saying they're not upgrades or they're not good, but are they worth upgrading? I haven't seen anything for me personally that's worth upgrading. As a recap, we got the AirPods with the heart rate sensor, and we've got the Apple Watch with the blood monitoring, and now the Ultra with satellite, a little bit bigger of a display. I don't know if you have those things, if it's worth upgrading to. If you don't have them, I think it's worth buying, but that's not really too much different than before. Like, if you weren't going to buy it before, then what's going to make you buy it now? I don't know. That concludes Apple Watch. Let me find our bento. Apple Watch SE3 starts at $249. Apple Watch Ultra starts at $799, $800. Here's our Apple Watch overview. Fast charging, vitals, workout buddy, which actually sounds pretty cool. The sleep score, 3D printed case, and satellite. Now we're back with Tim Cook. We're getting into the iPhone. This is the time to start paying attention, guys. This is the good stuff. Let me find those prices again for the watches for you guys. Oh, wait, he's getting into the iPhone. So iPhone, we're supposed to be getting the 17 Air, the thinnest iPhone ever. It's going to have one 48 megapixel camera. We're supposed to be getting the Pro phones with 3 48 megapixel cameras, 12 gigabytes of RAM, a 24 megapixel selfie camera, which I'd be very excited about, dual camera recording. All with liquid glass. So those are the things, those are the rumors that I'm personally excited about, is the cameras here. I think that's going to help me out on a daily basis. We're going to see how much of the rumors stack up with what is actually going to come out today. We're seeing a lot of dynamic island on the screen right now. What was that? Is that the camera control button? Maybe not anymore. It looks like that wasn't used for the camera control anymore. I've never had the camera control button, so I don't know if you can use that for anything else. Yeah. We're getting into a drone shot, and we're moving to talk about the first iPhone 17 here. This is the iPhone 17. 5 colors: lavender, blue, black, white, and sage. It's got a larger display. Got ProMotion with an adaptive refresh rate of 120 hertz. Very exciting for those who don't have ProMotion yet. It is better if you're a nerd like me. Then you're gonna like it. You know, they always promote the live activity stuff on the lock screen, but like feel like it's underused. I would love it if more apps use the live activities. And I don't know whatever happened to app clips, but that was a cool idea that never happened. I miss app clips. Okay, they're talking about the durability. Ceramic shield. Do you guys rock a case on your phone? Ceramic shield 2. 3 times better scratch resistance. I'm a big ceramic shield guy. I got this 15 Pro Max. I've never rocked a case on it. Ceramic shield is crazy. I've literally dropped it from my ceiling. I had it hanging on my ceiling and it landed face down on the floor and it didn't crack. Ceramic shield is wild. If you're rocking a case on an iPhone with ceramic shield, you're just doing it for aesthetics at this point because they do not need a case. So we got ceramic shield 2 now. Very exciting. We've got an A19 chip. We knew that was coming. 3000 nits peak outdoor brightness, the highest ever on an iPhone. That sounds good to me. The colors are lavender, mist blue, black, white, and sage colors. Atomic level ceramic shield. What does that mean, atomic level? How are they on the atomic level? Is that like chemistry stuff? These are our colors here. So this is just the regular 17 that we're talking about right now. Huge boost in speed if you're upgrading from an older iPhone. I've never thought of my iPhone to be slow. The chip thing, like, I get that the chips add more features and that's cool, but like I've never been like on my iPhone been like, man, this thing is slow today. This thing's running like a tank. I don't know. You give me an A27 chip and I don't think I would notice. Oh, we're talking about Apple Intelligence. So we're talking about Apple Intelligence. We're talking about iOS 26 a little bit. A lot of live translation today. They say you can communicate across languages. iPhone 17 gets Pro Motion. That's the first Pro label feature ever on a non-Pro phone. Little consistency issue there. I'm not too worried about it. It has faster wire charging, not wireless charging, faster wire charging, up to 50% in 20 minutes. If you were dead, you go to 50% in 20 minutes. iPhone 17 has a 48 megapixel dual fusion camera, a main camera, and an ultra wide. Wow, that's crazy. What the heck? Oh, okay, so it's got two. It's got 2 cameras. Wait, what? It's got a 48 megapixel. It's got one camera that has a 12 megapixel 2x telephoto and a 48 megapixel. What was that? Ultra wide. What the heck? Okay, so now we're talking. What the heck was that? A dual fusion camera. I don't think anybody predicted that. Everybody's getting the megapixels wrong here. I just saw it. It's a 12 megapixel 48 megapixel ultra wide camera and a 12 megapixel macro? Is that what it just said? Yeah. 12 megapixel macro. That's interesting. So this thing's got 2 cameras on the body. and it's each one of those two cameras supposedly has a second camera inside of it. So it's got 4 cameras, the power of 4, with only 2 cameras. Sorry if I'm breaking this mic. This is what we're looking at. So this is just the bottom camera. They took 500 billion selfies last year. They know if you took a selfie, guys. They just gave a stat that we took 500 billion selfies last year. New front camera has the widest field of vision. Largest front camera sensor ever. The sensor is square on the front. Instead of a 4:3 aspect ratio, it's got a 1:1 aspect ratio. So it's basically saying you can take 4 different compositions with the front selfie camera. You can take landscape on your front camera. Wow. Interesting. You can take landscape photos and vertical photos because it's a 1:1 sensor. They're cropping in for whatever aspect ratio you want. And now it's using AI to expand. So if you've got 4 people in a group photo, the camera will expand the photo outwards. Cool. Interesting. I wasn't expecting this stuff. We're getting out of rumor territory right now. Ooh, snap. Selfie videos are ultra stabilized. A lot of upgrades for the selfie camera. It's also got center stage on the selfie camera, so that's what I'm using right now. So if I moved side by side, in theory, that's tracking my face. You tell me, I'm not watching it. Wow, great selfie camera upgrade, and that's just the standard iPhone 17. Wowza. Let's see what Marquez says about that. But he's always got something sassy to say. The loudest cheer for the new iPhone 17 has been the square sensor, so you don't have to rotate your iPhone for a landscape selfie. Yeah. Pretty big. 48 megapixel main camera, 48 megapixel ultra wide. I'm not sure if that's accurate. Oh, I feel like, what did this guy say? Yeah, I guess it's a 48 megapixel main camera here, 48 megapixel ultra wide here. This also has a 12 megapixel telephoto, and then this top one has a 12 megapixel macro. Super interesting. Oh, 17 Air's coming out. Whew. That is a thin iPhone with a fat camera bump on it. You know what's funny is when my phone, the 15 Pro Max, came out, everybody was so hyped about it having the thick, it didn't have the rounded sides anymore. It had the thick square edges, and you could really hold it. It had a lot of girth to it. And now we're back to going to thin, and it almost looks rounded. I can't tell. Huge upgrade for the camera. That was cool. What? What is that? All right, there's your iPhone bento board. So the only thing I don't like about this is the 12 megapixels. The 12 megapixel telephoto, 12 megapixel macro. Realistically, I don't think you're using that. It's got 256 gigabytes starting storage. That's huge. That's really good. ProMotion, peak brightness. I feel like this freaking 17 is better. This 17 is better than my Pro Max now. That's wild. I was not expecting the regular 17 to be better than my Pro Max. I might just upgrade the regular 17. Let's find out. We're about to hit the iPhone 17 Air now. We're taking the drone shot to John. We're going to cross the ocean. Dang, what is this song? This song that they're playing in Chicago is sick. I'm going to have to Shazam that. John Turnus, Senior Vice President, Hardware Engineering. He's releasing the iPhone Air. It's 5.6 millimeters. It's the thinnest iPhone ever made, except for the gigantic camera bump. 6.5-inch display. ProMotion on the iPhone 17 Air. It's got always on display on the iPhone 17 Air. 3000 nit brightness. And it's got Ceramic Shield 2. So far, that is a pretty good lineup for the Air phone. The Ceramic Shield's also on the back. That was something I've always been worried about, because the back of my iPhone is not Ceramic Shield, so I'm glad they brought that to the back. Whoa. He just said that basically everything is in the top half of that little strip on the camera bump, including the chip, including the computer chip. That's wild. It's more durable than any previous iPhone. Yep, good display. Looks like we got black, cloud, white, light gold, and sky blue. Those are the colors. Black, white, gold, blue. That's for the 17 Air. Now we're taking a new drone shot. We're traveling to learn more about the iPhone Air. Here are those colors. He didn't post it yet. More durable than any previous iPhone. This is a crazy claim for iPhone Air. Yeah, you could probably bend that thing in half. But I think what he was trying to say when he made that claim is because they put all of the electronics in the very top half, that you could drop it pretty much anywhere else and not worry about it. Yeah, the starting with 256 GB of storage is pretty wild. That is nice. They're talking a lot about this A19 chip. It's not a lot that I can really relate to. But basically, A19 chip means more AI. Let's see what Sam's got to say. I didn't realize Sam was going to be my guy for this today. Let's see what Marquez has to say. 9 to 5 Mac. They said MacBook Pro levels of compute in an iPhone. So this is the iPhone Air up here for you guys. There it is on the screen. Whoa, we got a new chip, guys. N1. It's a network chip. Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and Thread. I used Wi-Fi 6E the other day, and it was pretty crazy. But I had to use it with like Google Fiber, so that's the other half to it. They introduced C1 last spring, and now 6 months later, they have the C1X chip. These are both network chip, modems, things like that. It's the most power efficient modem in an iPhone. In fact, iPhone Air is the most power efficient iPhone ever made. I don't think anybody was expecting that out of the iPhone Air. I think everybody was expecting very little, and they are hyping this thing up like it was the best. I can't imagine what we're getting out of the Pros if this is what we're getting for the Airs. New chip, wireless networking chip, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and Thread. For those of you who use HomeKit, that's Thread. Your home smart lights and things like that. .2x telephoto is using a photonic engine with machine learning. It's got one camera. It's got a 48 megapixel Fusion main camera. We got tricked, guys. The second camera inside of the first camera is a 12 megapixel 2x telephoto. Very interesting. Two cameras in one camera. Visually, it's one camera, two cameras inside. I don't know how they did that. I don't know what that means, but that's pretty cool. Here's some sample shots from the keynote. This is what they're focusing on right now. They just posted some waffles out. Those were funny. These iPhone Air claims are wild. Most power efficient iPhone ever. Yeah, it is pretty wild. Four lenses in your pocket. On the front, we have an 18 megapixel center stage front selfie camera. Same thing where you can take landscape photos with your selfie camera now. Brand new feature, dual camera capture. Wow. That is awesome. Yep, we got dual camera recording. I wasn't sure if that was actually going to happen, but we got it. That is fantastic. Let me see if I can find a picture of this from Sam Sheffer. Center stage camera. These are all on the iPhone Air. Now he's talking about eSIM. I want to focus more on these cameras for a second. So basically they're saying with the different framing, just like they released before, you can kind of press that 1X button if you have it. You can press it and crop into the different frames. So these are all on that single iPhone Air camera. I think it's so funny. Everybody was freaking out because iPhone Air was only going to have one camera, and they did like the dynamic island trick where they made something out of nothing. Very software heavy, but that's really cool. It is eSIM only worldwide. Here's dual camera recording. This is really what I was personally very excited about. I think this is going to destroy the Insta360. I think you're going to use this not for basketball games, but for property tours, for virtual tours, for things like that, for the Apple Vision Pro recording. It has adaptive battery control that's conserving power by anticipating your needs. It has all-day battery life, which usually means like 18 hours for them. Thinnest iPhone ever, all-day battery life. Ooh, new accessories. Tech woven. Let's see. That's the rumor. Tech woven case. First up is a MagSafe charger, power bank, which is ironic that they just said it has all-day battery life, and the first thing they show after that is a MagSafe power bank. And then they made two different cases. The first one is the clear case. They still have that crazy looking power on symbol. Clear case. And then the second case is the... What is that? Polycarbonate? It looks like silicone. It looks like a They said polycarbonate. I don't know what that is. Whoa, you can put a strap? What the heck is that? They made a camera strap for the iPhone. That case actually looked cool. It looked like it was a silicone type of material. Here's that new wireless battery pack. It looks very similar to the old one. 48 megapixel camera on the iPhone 17 Air. New design. Very exciting. The way Apple is hyping it makes it seem like the iPhone Air has better battery than the Pro Max. Yeah, for real. They are really hyping it up. iPhone Air, A19, ProMotion, single 48 megapixel camera, eSIM, and one chip, all-day battery life. We'll see about that. Okay, we're getting the Pro Maxes now. Definitely looks like an aluminum design, guys. Yep, aluminium is what she said. Whoa. This video is intense. Apple goes so hard on their videos. That's wild. Let's take a look at the bento board of the Apple iPhone 17 Air. This is what you're getting. 4 colors: black, white, gold, sky blue. 48 megapixel fusion camera. So they got a 12 megapixel telephoto, 2x telephoto. A19 ceramic shield 2 on the front and back. ProMotion. And then it's got the 2 new network chips, which I don't think is going to be huge. And then a huge difference. And then the center stage front camera, which I think they said was 18 megapixel. And you can do landscape on your selfie camera. And of course, you got dual video recording. 17 Air turns out to be amazing. They are hyping it up like crazy. So 17 Air might be the move, guys. But it is cracking me up still, the camera bump. But they basically said everything inside of the iPhone electronics components was in that camera bump. Super interesting. Okay, we got ceramic shield on the front and back of the iPhone Pro Max. They're still playing their little promo video for it. Right now they're throwing concrete at it in the video. They're smashing glass bottles. This is almost comedic when I'm just talking about it. When you watch it, it's epic, but talking about it, it looks so ridiculous. Okay, it looks exactly, it is silver, orange, and navy blue. Looks exactly how the rumors expected it to look. Okay, we're about to get hit with a lot of stuff here. We're going to JAWS. Yeah, we're about to be really hit with a lot of stuff for the 17 Pro. This is what it looks like right here. Silver, black, navy blue. Oh god, I was already sold on the 17 Air. Now I have to put in a refund now. Here's that 17 Pro in the back. Looks really good. Vapor chamber is real, and they called it a vapor chamber, not a liquid chamber. It is a heat dissipator for better performance. It is a vapor chamber that is laser engraved into the aluminum chassis. Very interesting. We're using aerospace grade aluminum alloy for this vapor chamber. It's 20 times greater than titanium for thermal something. It's also significantly lighter, which we expected that. I don't know, I think the titanium was sick, but it doesn't matter to me too much what the phone is made out of. Elegant deep blue, silver, and a cosmic orange, leaning into the space theme. That's kind of cool. It does look like a spacesuit, actually. Yeah, so the vapor chamber's real. That's sort of the biggest takeaway so far. What is that font? Holy smokes. Wowza. It's space themed. They're leaning into the space thing, which is interesting. I feel like we're hearing a lot of space stuff in the real world. Did you guys see we're going back to the moon in 2027 or something like that, I think? It should be fun. I do think that Apple's design language is going towards more Earth materials. Not Earth as in Earth, but Earth as in earthly, space included, physical materials, which is why we're seeing the liquid glass, which is water and glass. Cosmic is now the space thing. I think that's what, like, they're leaning into the hard materials. Real earth, wind, fire. I wouldn't be surprised if they did some sort of fire thing. Bring back the iPhone red. Yeah, that font's wild. So far we aren't hearing too much about the Pro. Crazy how hard this design leaked. Yeah, for real. Yeah, it was pretty much exactly what we saw. So, yeah, the glass is ceramic shield. He said that, he was like, it's actually no longer glass at all. And I was like, whoa, what? What is it then? But it's ceramic shield. So it's aluminum chassis with ceramic shield cut out, and the reason for that is for MagSafe charging. They need that to be glass for that power to zoop through. Significant battery upgrade, he's saying. Best battery life ever in an iPhone on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Yeah. Huge battery increase is what they're saying. 39 hours of video playback. That's crazy. Okay, we're getting into the cameras, guys. Strap in, guys. We are talking cameras. I like how they filmed in all the Apple stores. The Chicago sound beat, whatever song they were playing in the Chicago Apple store, I'm going back and Shazamming. That was so dope. We're taking another drone shot, guys. We're going to go learn more about the iPhone. I hate that between everything, right when they start to tell us something good about the cameras, we need to go travel somewhere to a new store. Best camera system ever. On the front, we have an 18 megapixel camera selfie. I thought the rumor was 24 megapixel. It's 18. They've said so many numbers today. I don't know which one is strongest or hardest. Yeah, I know, right? 48 megapixel on all three cameras. We have a Fusion cameras on all three cameras, which means this iPhone Pro Max is going to have 6 camera systems on the back and then 18 megapixel on the front. 6 cameras on the back. I'm excited to see what that is. (8x) zoom. Longest optical quality zoom. Looks like you've got 1, 2, 4, and 8. 48 megapixel Fusion telephoto camera with a 12 megapixel telephoto inside of there. So when you hit that 8x optical zoom, you're going down to 12 megapixels from 48. I think that's something very important to know. I did not expect them to do that. That's not what I was expecting out of this. I don't want 12 megapixels down from 48. Let me see if Sam's put up our camera system here. Yeah, 8x telephone and sorry. If you look here, you can see you got the 0.5 wide, the 1x, the 2x, the 4x, and the 8x. But those cameras, when you get to that telephoto, it starts changing to that 12 megapixel from 48. He's going on and on about machine learning and stuff. These iPhone shots always look good, but they're like the best shots ever taken. The digital zoom's up to 40x for photos. But that's digital zoom. iPhone 17 Pro has the equivalent of 8 Pro lenses in your pocket. That is what he just said. We're going to take a look at some pictures now. So we got some time to talk here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. If you can't tell, I'm a little disappointed about the 12 megapixel 8x, but I guess you can't have everything. Up to 40x digital zoom for photos. New Fusion telephone camera with the 4x and 8x options. New Pro camera system. So you got 18 megapixel on the front, 348 on the back. Now we're talking about video. The rumor here is we're getting 8K video recording. We already got the dual video recording, which I'm excited about. I could take or leave 8K. I don't know who's shooting 8K on their iPhone. I don't know who's got the iCloud storage to do that. Let's find out. Okay, they've got ProRes RAW capture. I thought we already had that. Did we not already have ProRes RAW? HDR ProRes RAW. Do you film movies on your iPhone? Who is filming ProRes RAW HDR and 8K on their iPhone? I don't understand. I feel like they're making this for themselves, for their own Apple events. What's Genlock? Holy smokes. I'm so confused what this Genlock thing is. They just flashed a black magic tool in this thing. So they're definitely trying to position themselves as a real film camera. Oh, they just announced tech woven cases. I'm still confused at what this Gen lock is, and the fact that Sam didn't post about it makes me think that he doesn't have a clue what that was either. No black Pro phone. That's crazy. I didn't really even think about that. Yeah, it doesn't come in black. White, orange, or blue. Interesting. Yeah, so we got tech woven cases and a crossbody camera strap for the iPhone. I don't think anybody saw that one coming. Crossbody camera strap. Here's those cameras up front. So we got 48 megapixel ultra wide, 48 megapixel telephoto, 48 megapixel main. Vapor chamber, 48 megapixels, ceramic shield 2, center stage on the front camera, 18 megapixel. You got 13 millimeters, 24 millimeter, 28 millimeter, 35 millimeter, and onwards. And now they're playing a movie that they filmed. Looks like some sort of Pirates of the Caribbean movie that they filmed on this iPhone. Still trying to figure out what the heck Gen Lock was. It actually sounded cool, but Gen Lock allows for accurate and professional transitions without manual frame-by-frame alignment. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to look that up. If you know, let me know in the live chat, please, because I don't have a clue. Let's see what Marquez has to say. What sassy thing did Marquez have to say? We're even filming this event with iPhone 17 Pro. They always do that. They always film it with the phone. We knew that, right? Or is it different because it's live? This isn't live. Yeah, this was a pretty good event. I don't know if we're about to hit more or not. iPhone 17, $799. iPhone Air, $999. 800, $1,000, and then 1,100 for the Pro, 1,200 for the Pro Max, and a 2 terabyte configuration for the Pro Max. Of course, you have to pay more for that, but it's available. There's the prices for you. 256 gigabytes of base storage. Pre-orders start this Friday. You can get yours by September 19th. Okay, iPhone 17 is $800. The Air is $1,000. The Pro is $1,100. The Pro Max is $1,200. Pretty crazy. I don't even know which one I would get. I mean, very interesting. I'd love to go check them out in the store. Here's what they really want you to use your iPhone Pro Max for. Nobody's doing that, but but that's what they want you to do with it. It's very interesting. Okay, I think they're wrapping up. So that was it. So to recap, we're going to recap right here. What did we get today, guys? We got the AirPods Pro 3s. These are $250. And the biggest upgrades is the noise cancellation is supposedly a lot better. And then it has a heart rate sensor. So that's the AirPods Pro 3s for you. The Apple Watch, biggest upgrade here is that it has the blood pressure monitoring. It also has sleep score. I don't think that's huge because you could have done that with any app on the street. Apple Watch SE 3 came out. It has the always on display. It's got a wrist temperature sensor, 18-hour battery life. If you don't have an Apple Watch, get the SE 3. No doubt about it. Apple Watch Ultra 3 came out. That is got 42 hours of battery life. It's got 5G. It's got the satellite stuff. and it's got a larger display. So the SE3 is $250, same price as his AirPod 3 Pros. The Series 11 is $400, and the Ultra is $800. The iPhone 17, just the base model iPhone 17, it's got two cameras. They all start with 256 gigabytes of storage. These two cameras are both 48 megapixels. They're a main camera and an ultra wide at 48 megapixels. And then those two cameras have fusion cameras. So they have cameras inside of them that are 12 megapixel, telephoto, and macro. They both have the Ceramic Shield 2. That's going to be awesome. You're not going to crack this display. Comes in lavender, blue, black, white, and sage. And then the selfie camera is a center stage, so just like I'm using here, it should follow your head around, and you can take vertical and landscape photos with your front camera. The 17 Air, thinnest iPhone ever, with the exception of that giant camera bump. I don't know why they didn't write much about 17 Air in this blog. 17 Pro Max, huge battery life, ceramic shield, A19 chip. It does have the vapor system, and then those cameras are three 48 megapixels ultra wide telephoto and a main camera. Those each are fusion cameras, so you can go up to 8x, but you are going to jump down to a 12 megapixel camera at some point. And then on the front, you've got that 18 megapixel center stage camera, which a lot of people were thinking it was going to be 24, but that is 18, but that is okay. We've got tech woven cases with a crossbody camera strap for your iPhone now, which is wild. And then you got ProRes RAW, HDR. You've got Gen Lock. I'm still not sure what that is. iPhone 17 starts at $800. The Air starts at $1,000, more than the base 17, which is, I think, something that we weren't expecting either. The Air is typically the cheapest model. The 17 Pro is $1,100, and the 17 Pro Max is $1,200. Let's see what Mr. Marquez has to say about all of this. Very, very interesting stuff that was released today. And that's it for the keynote. And I guess Marquez is probably going to walk in there now and take a look in person. Up to 2 terabytes available for the 17 Pro Max. They filmed the event on the 17. Very cool. Here's some pictures. AirPods Pro 3. I think if you don't have AirPods, get the Pro 3 because they're the same price. New Apple Watch. If you don't have an Apple Watch, get the SE. If you already have an Apple Watch, you already have AirPods, I wouldn't upgrade. Unless you've got blood pressure problems and you really want that Apple Watch. That's the only reason why I could see upgrading for either one of those. iPhone delivered today. It delivered, and that was the exciting part. This looks very futuristic. From a design standpoint, I commented on this. They called this Cosmic Orange. I think they're leaning into like a really interesting earth, wind, fire, air kind of design language now, which is super cool. Here's those prices. 17 Pro is $1,100, $1,200 for the 12 Pro Max, and $1,000 for the Air. Here is the mental card for the Pro. Here's the cameras. So you got an ultra wide, you got a 1x, a 2x, a 4x, and an 8x. And that 4x and 8x is going to be your 12 megapixel fusion telephoto. It's got ProRes RAW. It's in white, orange, or navy. It is not in black. Here's your 8 Pro lenses in your pocket. I never use these sort of things. My phone has this too, maybe yours does, where you can tap on it and change your like millimeters for the different lenses. I found it doesn't really change much for me. It's just like a basic zoom change, but I'm not really experiencing that much different. But those are your 8 lenses. I think that's more marketing, if you're going to ask me. Center stage front camera is dope. The dual video recording on the front and the back, that's dope. I would upgrade your iPhone out of this lineup. And honestly, which iPhone to upgrade to? No clue. No clue. Oh, this is that case. Yeah, they called this like polycarbonate or something like that. Polycarbonate, I don't know. It looks like silicone to me. Very interesting. Here's the 8x telephoto. even to me, that doesn't look that sharp. What is she standing on? What is this photo? It's kind of freaky. Um, 48 megapixels on all three of the cameras. The font is very space, very cosmic. I think that's cool. Um, yeah, they had the vapor chamber. What is that? Oh my god, that is funny. Here's the iPhone Air overview for you. 4 colors: black, white, gold, and I think that's a sky blue, if I remember. 48 megapixel. They have one camera, but it's a fusion camera system, so that other one's gonna be a 12 megapixel telephoto. And 2 new chips, but they're both for network connectivity, which I think is interesting. Overall, I mean, good event. Good event. Most durable than any previous iPhone. That's what they said for the iPhone Air. iPhone Air really delivered. I could see the iPhone Air selling. We're gonna find out. Super interesting event, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Am I gonna get one? Are you gonna get one? I don't know. I think the Lumi said I think the colors are on brand with their liquid glass UX. Yeah, I think so too. Like, that's my theory, is that Apple's really leaning super hard into this, like, I don't know, material thing, because, and that's what we're seeing with liquid glass, which is water and glass. I think they're leaning so hard into that because we're starting to lean out of reality. Like, you start looking at AI, and like AI is so digital. The Vision Pro is so digital that we're gonna have to go back to some sort of skeuomorphism where we have more of reality interwoven into digital, because the actual software is getting so far from reality. So that's my theory on the colors and that font. I like the liquid glass a lot. If you're not on liquid glass, it's the beta, but it's really cool. So overall, I don't know, really good event, very interesting. It depends on what type of phone you've got. I've got the 15 Pro Max. Am I gonna upgrade? I'm gonna have to think about this. The theory, I mean, the rumor is that the next iPhone will be a foldable iPhone. Ah, man, I can't believe Apple would do a foldable iPhone, but people are really serious that they are gonna do it. My thing is, Steve Jobs was always against plastic. That's why we have glass, because before that, smartphones were all plastic, but he was very much against that. And it's taken like 20 years to get an iPhone that doesn't crack. We finally made it to that point, and there's been many cracked iPhones to this point, but I just can't imagine them doing a plastic phone screen. But who knows, Apple could pull something off. So that's kind of where my head's at, is like, if they did a foldable phone, I think I would want to get it, not because I really want a foldable phone, but just because I want to try and I want to see what it would be like. Something that's a little bit more new and innovative for Apple. So that would be my personal hesitation. I don't have all the money in the world to go buy a new iPhone every single year. So we'll see. I'm hesitant on buying this. No Pro Max. No, they do have a Pro Max. This is the Pro Max right here. iPhone 17 Pro Max comes in white, cosmic orange, and this navy blue. Lots of good upgrades for the Pro Max. I think I would probably buy a Pro Max because I do a lot of content creation, and maybe you do too. And those 3 back cameras being 48 megapixels would be my biggest attraction to it. And then obviously the other thing that I've been really hyped about this is the dual video recording. So let me pull up the picture here. Dual camera recording, so you can record with your front camera and your back camera. I feel like that's going to replace this Insta360. And if it does, that would be a reason why I would upgrade. I would get rid of this and I would upgrade to an iPhone 17 Pro Max for that reason. But who knows? That's software based. They're not advertising that in this screenshot at all. The title says Pro, not Max. I'm not sure I'm following you. man. I guess it does say iPhone 17 Pro, but here, I'll show you over here. You're right. It does say Pro. Wait, what? Now you're tripping me up. I'm so lost. You're tripping me up now. Maybe you're right. Oh wow. Holy crap, you're right. It doesn't say Pro Max. If I go to buy this thing, does it say Pro Max on here? Yes, it does. Interesting catch. Yeah, 17 Pro, which is going to be the smaller one, starts at 1100. 17 Pro Max starts at 1200, at least here in the US. So there is a Pro Max, but that was harder to find than I realized it was going to be. Good catch. Yeah, super weird. It does exist. Let's see how much this would cost me if I were to buy it. Just your average Joe out here. What color should we get, guys? Probably cosmic orange, right? I kind of hate the color orange. I don't think I would ever buy it. If I were to buy this, I would get it in the silver, which looks really weird actually with that glass back. Here's deep blue for you. That probably looks the most normal out of these colors. Crazy that there isn't a black. I'd get silver and I'd paint mine. 256 gigabytes. They all start at 256 gigabytes now. Let's say no trade-in. And then I could finance this for $50 a month for the next 2 years of my life. I could pay $50 a month on my Apple Card. And whoa, what is this? I've never noticed this before. Apple iPhone upgrade program. $61 a month for 24 months. Pay monthly at 0% interest with the option to upgrade to a new iPhone every year. That's crazy. Maybe I should do that and just pay Apple $60 a month for the rest of my life and just review iPhones. Let's see what the tax is looking like. What am I? I'm T-Mobile. No Apple Care. You know you need that Apple Care though. How do you order it? Am I missing something here? Can you not order it yet? I just wanted to see what the tax was going to be after everything was all said and done. Is the Apple event over and will there be another one? It is over. You can go to apple.com and you can watch it. If you go straight there, apple.com, you can click watch the event and watch it back. Another one, there'll probably be another one in, they never tell you really, but probably in October or November, they'll release another Apple event, and that will most likely be focused on the Macs, so all the computers and stuff like that. Oh, you're right, on Friday for pre-order. You are so right. I'm used to buying it right after. That's what they do for the Macs and the iPads. Is it weird they did not cover Pro Max? It is weird that they didn't label it like that. Yeah, that is a little bit different than what they normally do. They just called it the 17 Pro. I think maybe it's because they had the Air. I don't know. I don't know why they did it like that. 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max. Let's see what all Marquez said. That's it for the keynote. Okay, I mean, he's probably back to work now. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff that was released. Only 2,000 for the 2 terabyte. You don't need 2 terabytes on your iPhone, guys. You don't need 2 terabytes because I'm going to be honest with you. Even if you were using your iPhone as a filmmaker, you would connect it to an SSD via Thunderbolt cable. You do not need 2 terabytes on your iPhone at all. There's no way. Some of the other things that were released today, we scroll through here. These are kind of the iPhone Air camera lenses. It is one lens, fusion lens, so they're kind of giving you multiple lens options with one camera. I'll be honest, these shots don't even look that sharp to me. Yeah, iPhone Air looks thin as all get out. I'll give you that. That's crazy. If it really is that camera bump isn't that bad when you look at it when somebody's holding it, especially compared to my phone. My 15 Pro Max is thick, which I like because I don't drop it too much. So I do think that's a little bit of a personal preference. Here's the regular iPhone 17 Fusion main camera, which these are both 48 megapixels, and then they're claiming inside of this camera is another camera somehow. I don't know if that's digital or I guess it's real somehow. It's optical, and it's a 12 megapixel telephoto. Inside this one is a 12 megapixel macro. So they're super hard about leaning into these camera systems today. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think that we're gonna call it for this stream. Thank you guys for watching. Super interesting event. Lots of camera stuff. I'd be very curious to try these cameras out in person and see if they really are any good. I know for sure the 48 megapixels are gonna be great. And if I were to upgrade mine personally, or you were to upgrade yours, you definitely notice with the main cameras how much better they are. But those Fusion cameras, I'm super skeptical of. 12 megapixels on those Fusion cameras. I don't know. That sounds like a serious downgrade. Selfie camera sounds like a bit of an upgrade, but it's only going up to 18 megapixels, which I think it's currently at 12. So I don't know if there's going to be that drastic of a difference there either. We will have to see. We'll have to find out, and we'll have to test it ourselves and see if this thing is worth it. Definitely let me know which iPhone you think you would get out of the options today. There's a lot of options. This is like the type of thing you're gonna have to go on like ChatGPT and start doing research of like, which iPhone do I even want? Because it's not at the point where it's so obvious. It used to be the iPhone Pro Max was the most obvious, like, best iPhone to get, and now I'm like, I don't know. The Air sounds like the steal of a deal. And again, it's crazy to me that the Air is cheaper. I mean, more expensive than the typical 17. Like the Air has one camera. The regular 17 has two cameras, but the Air is more expensive by $100. It's confusing. I'm just confused at this point. I don't know what I would recommend for anybody else. I don't know what I would get. So I don't know. Super interesting, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. This was like my first live stream ever. Last time I tried to do this, I got shot down. So that's why we did this watch along thing where I didn't show Apple. So I very much appreciate you guys taking a look and watching this live stream. Leave a like or a comment. I don't even know if you can do that, but if you can, do that and hit subscribe, and I'll follow up with more information on these iPhones. Thanks again. See you later. Bye.